This will be a serious talk, guys, a serious talk and a test. At the end you will get a test. The talk is about what else could it be? Full self-driving. Tesla's full self-driving is not here yet. Mission not accomplished, I would say. It was promised for the end of last year, 2019. Also, the autonomous drive from the west coast to the east coast was promised to us end of last year. Elon said it. Elon is the god. He said it. He tweeted it out and he failed. It didn't come. Well, I don't know if you have listened to the earnings call of Q4 2019. It just came out 1 or 2 weeks ago. And listen to this, what Uncle Elon has to say.
Well, I mean, to be precise, I said I was hoping it would be feature complete with full FSD by the end of last year. We got pretty close. You know, it's looking like we might be feature complete in a few months. But feature complete just means like it has some chance of going from your home to work, let's say, with no interventions. So it doesn't mean the features are working well, but it means it has a above zero chance. So I think that's looking like maybe it's going to be a couple months from now.
He's pedaling back, right? He's pedaling back. Feature complete. Still not here. Feature complete means now the car will drive you from home to work. Well, we are far away from any full self-driving at all. Imagine how many millions, billions and trillions of people are commuting every day with their car. It's all different. I mean, my commute is very easy to drive. There's only a bit of highway and there are no traffic lights and nothing and just one roundabout. Super easy. But everyone else in the world, I'm sure I've got the easiest commute ever. But guys, feature complete means now the car will drive you from home to work. But still, you need to pay attention. You can't play Mario Kart on the screen. You can't watch Netflix or Twitch. And you can't clip your toenails. The car needs your attention still when it does it. That's what Elon just said, right? So another couple of months we will give him, as he said. But to be honest, he said again, he will expect it to be a couple of months. So it's again an expectation. But the promise, the expectation is now here again. Can the car drive us from home to work? I'll put this to a test tomorrow morning. I know we are not here yet, but we have to observe the car anyway, and I have to step in from time to time to make changes and stop the car from killing me. So tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, probably 6:40, driving to work in full autonomy and see how good the car already is and how much interaction it needs. It'll be an interesting test. Okay guys, see you tomorrow morning. I'm excited. There you go. Okay, this is the feature complete full self-driving test we are doing this morning to see if, you can see me, to see if the car is actually able to drive autonomously from home to work. We all know it won't do it, but how often do I have to take care of the car, make sure it doesn't kill me? Okay, let's do it. Okay, we are in autopilot. I will keep one of my hands on the steering wheel all the time, just to make sure. Because again, autopilot is not designed to drive on these roads yet, not officially. Ah, the puddle. The puddle mode is missing. We are on software 2020.4.1. But as you can see here in Australia, we don't have any bin recognition, stop signs, again puddles. and traffic light visualization on the display. Nothing like this.
In 300 meters, turn left onto Forest Hill Ferndale Road.
Okay, there's a car behind me, but we're almost at the intersection. Look at the car is driving here, how jerky it drives without lanes.
Turn left onto Forest Hill Ferndale.
Okay, so I'm taking out autopilot now for this turn. But I think when you drive, if you drive really slowly here, it will be fine and can do it itself. Okay, we are back in autopilot. 80 kilometer zone, straight road, good lane marking, no problem at all. But I cannot override the speed, so there is obviously not enough data here to let the car drive over the speed limit. On these kind of roads it does a fantastic job. Well, and now we are approaching the intersection to the highway. We have to cross one lane and then merge into another lane. It's just a normal intersection, but it is on a highway. So this will be a very, very difficult, if not impossible task for the car. I will tell you in a second why impossible. As we approach this intersection now. Yeah, I know. So stop signs, it need to slow down. There's a clear line where it has to stop. And now it needs to look far right, which it can't. There's no camera. And I on purpose go just to the middle of the road. And now it needs to look about 150 degrees back to the left to make sure there's nobody coming in this lane. And again, there is no camera pointing in this direction. So intersections like this one will be very difficult to do because there's no camera actually pointing in any of these directions. Just want to get out of the way of this car. Yeah, and see, now on the highway here I can override the speed to whatever I like. I'll leave this on 102, 101, so you don't complain. 100. Stick to the speed limit. So I don't know how full self-driving will handle these situations where it has no camera angle where the cars are coming from. And especially if you merge onto the highway and you have to look far out of your little triangle window at the back to see oncoming traffic. There's no camera angle. And I've checked also the back camera. It does not see the lane coming towards us. So this is possibly an impossible situation for hardware 3.0 to drive in full autonomous, full self-driving. It cannot see what is coming in this direction. I think the heating has turned on again. You can feel a bit of warm air. 23 at 7 o'clock in the morning. Of course, this highway section here should be no trouble. So my personal opinion is to get full self-driving, full autonomy, even the feature complete, what Elon stated in the earnings call, driving you from home to work. We will need more cameras. There's just no camera angle to see in this direction where cars are coming from. So there might be a hardware 3.5 or even a hardware 4, which we need, which has additional cameras looking to the side, looking behind us. I will check the... I probably save my clips now, my Sentry Mode dashcam clips, and I want to check the angle of the cameras looking back next to the car and see if they give us an angle to see the oncoming traffic actually in this situation. But again, there's no way to see the traffic on the other side of the highway, which is basically a 90-degree angle. None of the cameras is looking in this direction. But I'll check the Sentry, I'll check the dash cams later and put this in the video as well. So now we are just coasting behind this truck, which is fine. Probably in full self-driving it would overtake this car now and merge into the other lane again. I don't know, depends on your settings, but it's back on 100 now, so you would stick on the right hand lane and then you have to leave the highway in 500 meters. So what is the car doing then? Is it merging back into the, is it falling back behind this truck and merging back into the left lane to leave the highway, preparing for that? So this is all highway drive.
Now take the UT exit on the left.
So we're slowing down.
In 300 meters, enter the roundabout and take the first exit.
60. And now this is a one lane.
Roundabout and take the first exit.
This is a one lane roundabout. Again, it needs to look far back. I'll check the cameras if we can actually see that. See this angle. I'll take another screenshot here of the clips. And straight country road should not be a problem. Just need to wait until 90 pops up. Put it back on autopilot. Yeah, I've driven this many times on autopilot, so there's no issue here. That is all fine. So here's a sign saying 60 ahead. So in my opinion, the car should slowly de-accelerate, slow down already. What I do manually now with the knob. So now I've got 60, and here's the traffic sign 60, and we are 61. And we don't know exactly how far Tesla is with traffic sign recognition. We know all the data for the speed limits are coming from the map data at the moment. But eventually traffic limits or traffic speed limits will change temporarily in a construction site or permanently. And we can't wait for an update to come. So the car needs to take action accordingly to what it finds on the road. Right, so this is all in full self-driving 60 kilometers an hour. That works all fine. I'm just driving a different route now, so I don't follow the navigation, because there will be a traffic light which I bypass, so to speak. So I'll turn right here and visit my local Mitsubishi dealer, just to make sure they are all well and have still enough work. So again, full self-driving here.
In 200 meters, enter the roundabout and take the second exit. Now enter the roundabout and take the second exit.
Okay, another roundabout. And here's a bit of a situation on the left, where is another little road merging into the roundabout, which is not even on the map. It's interesting.
Now enter the roundabout and take the third exit.
And here's another one. Third exit. They have the exit to the doctors as a first one.
Now your destination is on the left.
Interesting. Audi TT behind me, tailgating me. Wanted to push me. All right, and then we are arriving on the car park here, and then it's a search and park function. It drives around, search for a car park. Preferable in the shade of the trees here. So that might be an option. I'll just take off the camera here. So yeah, that might be an option coming later to the car, where you can say, please park in the shade. The shade mode, so to speak. Yeah, well, what do you think? I mean, the interaction wasn't too bad. It wasn't too much to interact. But I have to check these side cameras and see if they get an angle. Because if you turn onto the highway, you have to look out in this direction. And it might be covered by the side cameras down in the fender. But this camera here on the B pillar points to the front. It looks to the bottom front, but the other one may get an angle of this situation of the highway. I will check this. But looking 90 degrees this way, when there's oncoming traffic on the highway, on the intersection, I don't know. There's no angle of any camera pointing this way. I cannot check the B pillar camera, of course, because we don't have access to it yet. But I doubt it will look 90 degrees of the car. So how does the car see if there's oncoming traffic? It'll be interesting to see how this development works, and if we still need more cameras, new cameras, different angles, or if they put maybe a second camera in the B pillar which just looks to the side. So we don't know. Well, so far this test, let me know what you think. How is your commute? Would it be more complicated? Is it easier? I always think this is a very easy commute for the car to drive, but paying more attention now, it may not be that easy actually, because of the intersection of the highway, and well, a bit of town driving here should be fairly easy. So I don't know. What do you think? How far are we away from feature complete, full self-driving? The car drives you from home to work. How much work do we still
right onto North Street.
How much work do we still need to put into this software, into the hardware, into the car, to make it feature complete? All right, guys, as always, thank you very much. Well, I almost forgot to thank all my Patreons on patreon.com/unpluggedtv for joining the community over there and supporting me and the channel. Thank you so much. We have some new supporters here. Mick from the Gold Coast here in Australia. Thank you so much, Mick, for joining. Steve from somewhere in Australia. Don't know where you are, but thank you so much, Steve. Long-time supporter of the channel. Started with the PHEV and is still with us and now supporting on Patreon. Thank you so much, Steve. Andreas from Germany, from Hille in Germany. Thank you so very much for supporting me here in Australia. Thank you. And Jared from Western Australia, exactly, on the other side of the island. Thank you very much, Jared, for supporting me. Well, if you want to become a Patreon supporter of Unplugged TV, head over to patreon.com/unpluggedtv. Have a look at all the support levels I set up for you, all the tiers, and what you get for your money. And as I promised, the first 10 supporters will be named and shamed here on the channel. So we've got only very limited slots left. So better hurry up to join the community over there. Thank you very much for all your support. See you over there on Patreon. Thanks guys. Bye.